Welcome to part 10 of building Uncle Dorkel. Alright, what I did, I let this dry overnight, and this is probably how it's going to be. I had made some holes here for hinges, but it don't really need to be that way. But what I got to do is hold this open. I'll put a block of wood in there, hold this open, so that I can start putting some material in here. This silicone will hold it, but being that this is round stock, it won't hold it from turning. If this was a piece of square stock or something, it would have something to grab to, but the silicone ain't going to be that strong. So what I got to do is build up on here and somehow connect it to here. And then I could probably silicone it in there, since it's got silicone in here already, to make the base for the lower part of the mouth. This is going to be the lower part of the mouth, the lower lip area, and the chin will be over here. So I got to form something. That big piece of cardboard I showed you probably won't get used, or it'll get cut down, whatever. So I got to do some work in here, and I'll come back on the video very shortly. What I did is I put some 16th inch brass wire in here, because this thing has a tendency to turn in the silicone. So I put this in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in there. Hope I'm in camera here. And I'm going to pinch it over like that, and I'll put a screw through it, and it'll hold this bar against these two rods and will stabilize this. Then I can start building my stuff on this form here. Well, quite a bit of time spent on this, trying to keep the piece solid, so now it's good and solid. But the jaw is lopsided, and that's because of this bracket that I made down here. It was nice and straight, but somehow it got twisted putting it in. I don't know, because it was made in two pieces over here, which I could have made it in one piece. So the jaw is, this board is straight right here. The top board is straight, but the jaw is on an angle, and that's because of the damn two pieces don't match up. This fiber board here I had to put in because this was cardboard here, and it was just caving in, even though I had plastic reinforcements in here. And I have it taped here, and that's so that the, see now the form, the rod, steel rod here is not moving now, it's solid. And that's what I want. And then I build up things from here. This part here, from here all through here is the mouth, of course. Naturally, this is wider and lopsided, but that was just so I can work in here. This will all get closed in when and if I can ever find that flesh-colored rubber that's going to go around the mouth area. Alright, I closed that flap that you saw open on the back here. So the cover that I'm going to make is going to be going from here over to here when that time comes. And I have to make it rounded, of course, because I got to allow for this throw rod for the eyes. It'll clear, but I still want a little rounded back on it. What I got to do is find another bottle that'll have almost the same shape, so I can use that to make the back. Well, so jaw is lopsided. There's not much you can do about that. It's due to the bars here not being even. It's straight here, but it's lopsided here. So now, what's going to happen is that the inside of the mouth is probably going to be some kind of a fabric that'll hide this spring, so it won't be very deep. I may put that thing in for the balloon, I may not. I don't know yet. For now, I took it out. There's enough room to work to get stuff in from the back here. And the biggest thing is going to be to make some kind of a area. Now this will be closed to a certain extent down here, but when the mouth is closed, I need to have some colored rubber or some kind of material here as well as for the mouth, so that I can cover this area up. You got to have something flexible here. I also went over with some more masking tape around here. The razor blade's getting dull and it's not cutting too precise. But I also smoothed out a little bit more on the sides here, because it was starting to look squarish like it does here. But I don't care about the back because you're not going to see that. But I do want the front and the sides to be good. The ears, I got to make up the ears, and they will not be made up until I'm done with all this stuff here, because I'm going to be laying it on the thing and I don't want to get it ruined. So that the nose will be made probably separate. What a stupid looking thing this is. Alright, this is the jaw where the fabric is going to be going on for the neck. I made a cardboard form to go over this. Kind of adjusted it so that it's not as tilted. Like this side was higher than this. Well, it's a little less noticeable now, because I can't bend the bracket, so I had to make it compensate in here. Alright, I added a little piece here again on top of what I already had. So the mouth is fairly straight with this top part here. Now the way it's coming out like this will be the chin right here. Not a great. I'm probably about the worst figure maker in the world right now. Terrible job. Don't look human at all. I'm hoping that if I can get the materials I need to fill this in, the flexible flesh colored rubber, which is what I'm really looking for, and hopefully that works, and get a wig, an old gray wig. I've got Hilda, the character I used to play, but I don't think that wig is going to be enough to do the face and stuff. Well, I'm going to experiment. I got 4 of these bowls. I got 3 more over there. And I'm going to take and rasp this off. Somebody had suggested that, but I had thought of that anyways. Rasp this rim off here and sand it. And then, well, I got this, what they call paper clay. But I don't think that stuff is going to stick to this. We're going to try it anyways. We'll use this one bowl here. I may end up having to cover this whole thing with masking tape like I did here, and then the paper clay would stick to that. We'll see. So we'll give that a try. We'll rasp this off. Alright, I sanded this and knocked this rim off, but it's still got that flat spot up there. And I roughened this up. I'm going to have to put masking tape on it like I did the rest of the head. And, try to build this up using the paper clay. But you can't put the paper clay on this. Now, I never worked with the paper clay. I have been working with it on the nose, which is not on video. I'm making the nose separate, and then I'm going to put it onto the head when the time comes. regular. Well, it's getting there. I have to take the knife and razor knife and cut little slits in here as I fold it over to try to keep it from bunching up, you know, because of the curvature. It's never going to be perfect, so I'm hoping that the paper clay will smooth everything out. But this is probably the best I can do. If worst case scenario, I'll have to wait till Halloween time or close to it to get the ball cap that I need and put it over there. I have to get something like that kind of a rubber that they use in the ball caps for the mouth area. So anyway, so that is going to have to wait until the stuff comes out in the stores at Halloween. It's only August now, so I'm going to have to probably wait another month anyways, at least. But that's all right. I got a long way to go on this yet. Never going to get all the ridges out. It's impossible. But we try to get as much as I can out of this. What I'm going to try to do here is to just build it up a little bit with a little bit of masking tape and try to round it off here. And then the whole thing will be finished coat with plastic, with paper clay if it works out. I tried a little paper clay down on the back here, just as an experiment the other day. It seems to stick all right to the masking tape, but what I'm going to do is to sand the masking tape and then lightly, and then it'll give it a little. There's like a gloss on here. We don't want that. Uncle Dorkel is so happy about this. He's standing on his head. Actually, he still has a flat spot on his head, and this is the only reason why he's able to stand on his head like this. I'm going to have to round that off. We can't have that on there. I put 3 pieces of cardboard. You can't really see them. The big one and a little smaller diameter, and then a little one in here to try to give it some roundness, and then I'll put masking tape over the top. You know, sometimes you got to improvise, you know. So as you're looking at it, it'll have more of a rounded, it won't have that flat spot anymore. But it may not be a smooth, real smooth bald head. But I'll keep working on it, try to get it the best I can. Well, I got that as smooth as I can get it. It's very hard to get rid of these ridges, these fold-over ridges, even though I slice it with the razor knife. But I got it pretty good. And as you can see, it's got a round top on it. Now, back here is going to be a problem because the back is going to be here. I'm going to have to bring the hairline up to here, because if I put the back, if I bring the baldness down to here, I'm definitely you're going to see a ridge there, even though this is the back. So he's going to be bald from here up. So he'll have to have some kind of hair from here down. So I got to locate another gray wig that I could do that with. His nose is almost totally made up. It's not. I did not do it on camera yet, but that won't go on until later because I made it with cardboard and with the paper clay, and it's the first time I ever worked with what they call paper clay, because I'm not into crafts or anything like that, so, you know, it's all new to me, but I figured I'd give it a try. And that's about as smooth as I can get it using just the masking tape. Not too bad. Came out a little better than I thought it would. If I can get a ball cap to go on this, it would save me a lot of prep work. I can just put it right on top of this and then glue it down around here. But it would have to come down to here or even below this so I can slip the cover under it. I could do that. And then I got to find some material to go over here. The ears don't get made until later on because I'm always laying this on the side, and the ears are going to be probably made out of cardboard, but I'm not sure yet. And masking tape, of course. That's how I started making the nose, but the nose is not on video yet. Well, I bought some of this felt here. I'm going to try to make the inside of the mouth first. Alright, what I'm doing now is I'm going to try to make the inside of the mouth. This is the first time I ever tried doing this. I can't sew it, of course, so I'm going to have to use a stapler and some of this, what they call super tacky glue, which didn't seem to be all that great, because I put some on a sample here and it doesn't really hold at all. But I'll put a bead of it on there and then staple it. And see. Get this out of the way here. Here. Nothing more than Elmer's glue, probably. Alright. Now if the stapler ain't out of staples, which is the story of my life, when I go to use these things, they're always out. Okay. I should try to go with that. Yeah, I went too far with this. Alright, I had to make another one. The other one was too small. So when this opens up, the inside of the mouth, I got to staple these two pieces together. I'll have something when it opens up. The other one wouldn't open up, it was too narrow. Like I say, this is the design, a constant design change on this project, constantly. We can't go in too far with that. We can only go up to about half. Because there's a spring inside the mouth. So when I put this in, it has to clear the spring. The spring can rub gently against this, that's okay, because this is soft anyways. But there's no point in making this any deeper than they will accept the let me interfere with the spring here. Alright, so basically this goes in. This whole mess goes in here, and I don't know how well it's going to stay in there. It's basically the inside of the mouth, and then I got to glue this down over here and cut this off. So I'll probably trim this. It's too long. Better to start too long than that like that. It's not very deep. It's only 1.5 inches deep before it hits the spring. So there's no point in making this any deeper because you're defeating the purpose. It's just going to bunch up at the end. It's just that when the mouth is open, you get to see the inside. There's not going to be as much room in there as I thought it would be. Naturally, the mouth is on this side, not here. This is where the chin is. This will be covered up when I get that rubber that I'm trying to find, which I have to use around the mouth because I want the lips to move like this every time the jaw opens. This is how I want to do it. When this has got to be fastened to here, and this has got to be fastened over to here, so that when this mouth opens, you see, you can see the inside of the mouth. If I decide to put a tongue in it, I may do that later, but right now I think what we're going to do, we may have to remove one of these staples over here because I think I'm too far. I can't open it wide enough. I may have to take this last staple out and bring another piece over, another staple over this way, so that I'll be able to open this up a little bit more. This ain't a great job. The rubber goes over the top of this anyways, as far as the edges are concerned. So you don't see this part. Anyways, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put masking tape over it. I can't depend on that glue holding anything. Like I say, that's why I mentioned that the nose will go on later. Because all this has to be done first. Let me just put a little. I don't think that this stuff here doesn't stick any better than Elmer's glue. It's probably all it is, really. These are materials I've never worked with before. The main thing is you get to see the inside of the mouth. We're going to fasten this down. But we want this to be able to move good without hanging up. So we'll cut that. Glue that there. Because like I say, there's a rubber that's going to go over this, which is going to be the lips. And the rubber will come up to here. And this will be the lips. This is just the inside part of the mouth right here. So once I get this fastened down where I want it, with a little bit of this so-called sticky, extra sticky glue, which doesn't seem to be any different than Elmer's glue. Doesn't hold anything. The masking tape's going to do all the holding. The masking tape is going to do it. Stuff might hold after it dries. Who knows? I don't have much faith in glues at all, of any kind, even contact cement. But contact cement will leave a stain, but we don't care about that now. I'll just put a little tape in there. This here, as I mentioned in an earlier video, is a form for the jaw, but basically it's going to be covered up with a beard. So hopefully you don't see that. Okay. Alright, I got to release. I'm going to release the jaw. Actually, it ain't smooth inside, but it doesn't have to be. Alright. Now I just got to get that that flesh colored rubber if I can find it to make the lips on this thing. When that happens, after that, then the same piece of material will be put down here, and maybe something up here. Alright, this is the stuff to call paper clay. I bought it at the craft store. I read a little bit on the internet about it. This is products like this, and that's what I used on the nose. I started the nose with some heavy cardboard to make the form, and then I put paper clay on it, but it's going to take several days for that to set up. It's air dry. It does not require an oven. So what I plan on doing here is try to sand this a little bit so that this paper clay will stick to it. But I only need it for the face and around the eyes anyways, but I can't do that until I get the rubber here so that I can tape it around like I did this, and naturally then I can put the nose in, which is drying in the house right now, and you won't get to see that right away. And then I put contact cement or something to fasten the nose here, and then blend in with the paper clay. That's the end of this part. We'll see you on part 11.